So, we're gonna do another moon update, full moon update. In about 5 days, we have a full moon, and apparently, there's also going to be an entire lunar eclipse. So, I have been posting these moon updates, going live on Instagram a couple of days before the full moon, but I usually try to do it a day or two, 3 days before the full moon because most people are already feeling a lot of this energy and to do this. So, and I kind of may go get into it a little bit. I don't really have anything prepared yet, but I'm pretty sure that most of you, and if you're watching live, let me know that you have already been feeling a lot of intense energies. Let me know in the comments if you've been feeling all kinds of stuff already, because we're also in Venus retrograde. And everyone knows about Mercury retrograde and all of that, but Venus retrograde is something that not too many people know about. And I'm not an astrologer. If you are new to me or you haven't known me for that long, I am an Akashic Records reader. I'm a dragon and angel communicator. I'm a channeler, intuitive, mentor, whatever you want to call it. But I don't really know that much about astrology, and I kind of started diving into astrology on my own just to understand it a little more and how it was lining up with the stuff that I was receiving from the dragons, from the seraphim, from just my guidance team, basically. So I have some notes here, and I'm also going to pull some cards. So this upcoming full moon is going to be around the 13th, 14th of March. So that is Thursday, Friday next week. That's when that's going to be happening. So it's going to be a total lunar eclipse, also referred to as a blood moon, because it has this reddish hue, apparently. That takes place during this entire eclipse, which is going to be in the sign of Virgo. So let me see. And this is all about refinement. It's going to be about aligning your daily routines, making some adjustments, maybe reassessing your spiritual practices, stuff like that, stuff that needs adjusting, practical steps to get closer to your own inner truth. And that is definitely, these are notes from astrology websites, but it is perfectly lining up with the channeled information that I have received, that I've just been feeling from whatever has been going on. So, and I'm sure that you have been feeling this Venus retrograde. So let me look at these retrogrades. The Venus retrograde is started on March 1st, and it's going to be, I think, for about a month, I think, and it is in Aries, and later it's moving into Pisces. So Venus retrograde is all about reflection on relationships, personal values, finances, and it encourages you to reevaluate how we connect with others and what we truly value. So it's a time for introspection and reevaluating a lot of relationships. And so that is the astrology side of it. But what I've been getting to is this is also an invitation. It's an invitation for you to really just skip timelines. And this is coming through from the dragons now. This Venus retrograde is an invitation to skip timelines and do the thing that for so long you just were hesitant about. Maybe you've been knowing for a long time that stuff needed to shift, that you needed to refine some of these things, that you needed to have this last conversation with someone. Relationships doesn't just mean romantic relationships, it means in general. And now there's going to be this lunar eclipse, so all of that is going to amplify all of this energy that we are already in. So there's the full moon, there's Venus retrograde, and then there's this eclipse. So all of this is going to be like a big turbo boost that is going to force you to really just, and I think I said this during the last full moon, It's like a wave, and you can either float and ask for this wave to bring you where you need to go, to show you what you need to see, or you can resist, and you're going to be fighting against these waves and potentially drowning, or you're going to have to swim back up. You're basically going to be working against yourself. So just allow for things to come up that need to come up. So with this full moon, you can set an intention. You can do this if you want to learn how to work with the golden dragons. You can do something like this. You can just repeat. You can repeat this and say, golden seraphim dragons. Anywhere where I am not seeing, where I'm in resistance to anything that needs to come up when it comes to any relationships in my life, any resistance that there may be present inside of me, whether conscious or subconscious resistance, please clear, release, delete, and transmute this resistance across all time, dimension, space, and reality, and replace this with flowing effortlessly and easily, trusting what needs to come up and knowing that I am always protected and guided. So that is something that you can say. You're calling in these dragons. You're letting them help you. So if you are familiar with me, you know that I always call upon the golden dragons for everything. These statements are also something that I create for people, whatever you have going on in your life. So let me know if that is something that you would like to work with me. So back to this full moon. This full moon, that is going to be a whole lunar full eclipse. And then we have Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde, which is beginning on the 15th. So we are all very familiar with Mercury retrograde. It's all about communication, misunderstandings, technology. We need to have more patience, but all of these are invitations. They're opportunities for you to be initiated into the next level of yourself, to jump timelines. And this is what the dragons are saying. These retrogrades are chances for you to fine-tune even more, to align even more with your ideal life. And all these things that are standing in the way that you are now allowing, or that you are permitting or tolerating, they are going to be highlighted. They are going to be blown up. It is going to seem way bigger. These things are going to now seem very big. They're going to be very big obstacles. So this week leading up to Friday, to this full moon, if you are feeling this about certain aspects in your life, certain people, suddenly you hate your job and you've always kind of disliked this job, and now suddenly you just hate it so much and you are just done. This is not happening to punish you. This is happening because this is the thing that's been coming up for you, but you always managed to kind of go around it and not really deal with it. But now finances, relationships, how you view yourself, the self-love relationship with yourself too, all of that is now going to be coming up. It's going to be extra highlighted also during this week. So this is not happening to punish you. This is happening so that you can now really see, hey, this is not really good for me. I need to start making adjustments because this is just now, I cannot ignore this any longer, basically. So, and then with Mercury retrograde also combined with that, because then there's this full moon, this eclipse, plus Mercury retrograde beginning, we are already fully in the Venus retrograde. So that means that now all the stuff that you are noticing in communication with your loved ones, because these two retrogrades are now being woven together, so that you can really see from a conscious, elevated point of view where communication with certain loved ones needs to be changed. These things, again, are not happening to make life difficult. So you'll often see these memes of people like, oh, Mercury retrograde is happening, we're going to go in a cave and not come out of this cave until 3 weeks later. But the thing is, then you are avoiding your own initiations, and then you are only picking and choosing from the spiritual path what you would like, what is fun, what is rainbows, what is unicorns, whatever. By the way, I'm working on a unicorn portrait, so don't get me wrong, I like all the fun spiritual stuff. But you're going to enjoy all of these things so much more when you have gained the valuable lessons from these moments, like these lunar eclipses, these retrogrades, because these things are peeling the layers away. And it's like the dragons always say, and I say this in every full moon update, they are here to burn away illusion and illuminate the truth. So all of these things are being revealed. All of the things that were illusion are being burnt away so that the truth can be illuminated, which is you, the illuminated version of you, the highest self, the highest timeline that you are ready to step into. And I say constantly, all you have to do is ask your guides, whatever guides you want to work with. If you just want to work with your own spirit guides, if you are like, God, show me source, show me golden dragons, show me, they are going to show you. But then we may not like it. The human part of us may not like what we are being shown, but everything is always happening exactly for us to step into the highest timeline. And I'm saying this not because my life is easy, far from it. I have to deal with people. I have to deal with court situations. I'm dealing with a whole bunch of stuff in my life, with people in my life that are determined to see me miserable. And I'm doing quite the opposite, and that is I'm seeing all of these things as invitations for me to choose even more of what brings me love, what brings me light, what brings me joy, and how I can do this for other people. So that is what these things are doing right now for us. These retrogrades, the full moon, all these things. So if you have now only joined, definitely go watch it from the very beginning, where I kind of go into astrologically what is going on and how you can look at these things. Let me see if I have any other notes. So yes, we posted a video, Ryan and I posted a video that was all about relationships and how we feel that in the next couple of months a lot of stuff is going to come up about relationships, and we were talking specifically about romantic relationships, but I feel this applies to all type of relationships. It applies to friendships, it applies to family connections, soul contracts, and I do offer soul contract readings. They are not on my website. However, you can still get one from me. What is a soul contract reading? And now is an optimal time to do these things. It's basically looking at the multidimensionality of the connection between you and another person, and what it is that you need to know about this connection to see the tapestry of how you and this other soul are connected throughout all the different lifetimes, so that you can heal whatever it is that is coming up for you in this lifetime. So Venus retrograde is the time to do this. This full moon in Virgo, it feels like it's really about the self, and not in selfish. That's not what I'm saying. Virgo is about really seeing what you want in your life, what it is that you value. So these things are going to be highlighted now. So what is it that you value? What is it that you don't value, but that you've been tolerating for way too long? Mercury going into retrograde together with Venus already in retrograde. Now is the time to really voice these things, communicate these things to these people that maybe you have not been doing. So again, the dragons are saying, illuminating the truth by burning away illusion and using your voice. And it may be really scary to do this, but you can call upon the golden dragons, the seraphim. They are here for the collective to assist people through this so that you can step into this higher version of yourself. What else do I have here? So reassessing relationships, the combined effects of the Mercury and the Venus retrograde with this full moon, reassessing these relationships. It is all about alignment with your values, your desires, but not from a place of escapism, but from more attunement to your higher self. So what is it that you need to do to really lean into this connection with your higher self? What situations are good for you? What situations are standing in the way of you doing this? What people are right now not necessarily standing in the way, but are just not a good alignment for you? So that is something that Ryan and I also talk about in our podcast. You can find it in the link in my bio on my website. We talk a lot about toxic relationships. This is a theme that is really going to be coming up now with this Venus and Mercury communication and relationships combined. So in sidereal astrology, which is also cosmic astrology, it is based on true sky events, true sky astrology. Then this full moon would be considered to be in the sign of Leo. And that is all about contracts, unions, fulfillment of responsibilities, honoring commitments, and nurturing partnerships. Honoring commitments can also mean, it doesn't necessarily mean keep on doing these things, tolerating these things, when it's not honoring yourself, not nurturing yourself. Again, it has to come from you first, and then seeing, is this honoring myself? How do I maybe have to change this contract, this commitment? How do I have to shift some of this energy? Those are the things that are going to be coming up now during the next 3 to 4 weeks. That's what you're going to be feeling, but around this full moon, it's going to be emphasized. It's going to look bigger. So that's why I'm doing this video now, so that enough people are going to see it before the full moon. So if this has been coming up for you, let me know in the comments, and let me know what this may look like for you, because other people may read this and they may gain something from it. So let me think. What else? Look at no, that's all. I'm gonna pull some cards because we're gonna see what comes up specifically for this full moon that we are having in 5 days. So, and I didn't get too many of these decks out, just a few. And for those who have no idea, I started channeling my guides when I was 13, and I was never really into tarot cards or oracle cards, and I basically was just channeling and doing mediumship and automatic writing and channeling. And I never really worked with cards until I was already in my 30s, and I started just for fun playing around with them. And I usually pull them after I get messages to see if they confirm the stuff that's been coming through. But it's really good to start playing around with cards if you do not have that trust yet in your gifts, in your intuitive abilities. It's really good to start practicing with the cards. It's basically a technology. So it is a good way for you to start trusting your own intuition and to just play around with the cards. Anyway, but that's a topic for a whole other video. I do have a free intuitive development course that you can find on my website, where I talk about a whole lot of these little tips and tricks to train your intuition. So believe in the impossible. I'm going to look at them all side by side first to see how they relate to each other. 10 of Crystals, stability, attainment. Beloved one, Archangel Samuel, I am helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. dusky pink dragon from Andromeda prepares all your chakras to embody higher love, accept and radiate higher love, touch others with its flame. So, believe in the impossible. To me, what's coming through right now that I'm hearing from the dragons is that this is connected to this turbo boost that they mentioned before. When we have these astrological events all taking place at the same time, it's like a big boost, like a video game where you eat the little mushroom and you just kind of fly forward. All of a sudden you're going really fast. That's what's happening. So it can be overwhelming, but try to find stability. This card here, stability, attainment. Try to find stability in all these things and keep in mind that this is not throwing you off balance. If anything, it is redirecting you. It is putting you on the right track. You are on the right path. It is making the path more clear. But first, it's gonna look like there's a whole bunch of chaos. But believe in the impossible, because of this turbo boost, basically, you're gonna feel that suddenly you have shifted and you're on this new timeline, like I said in the beginning. So, this card does not need that much extra explanation. Beloved one, Archangel Shamuel, and of course, Shamuel is the angel of God's love. Shamuel means love of God, God's love in Hebrew. I'm helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. To me, that is specifically about the Venus retrograde and this week now with these things coming up perhaps in your relationship or in your relationship to yourself if you are single. It can mean that you are going to have all these extreme ideas, is what I'm hearing now. So all your doubts, the things, the flaws that you see in yourself, the things that you're insecure about are gonna be bigger. They're gonna look bigger. Keep in mind, this is an illusion. These are ideas, they're programs that are being burnt away so that you can more clearly see this higher love that this card talks about for yourself and for the people around you, so that you can recognize again the fine-tuning, who deserves your energy, who is on your side, who is actually boosting you up in this connection to your higher self, and who is it that has been draining you. So those are things that are all going to be coming up now during this retrograde period, especially this upcoming 5 days with the full moon on Friday. So prepares all your chakras to embody higher love, accept and radiate higher love, touch others with its flame. So this card basically just confirms all the stuff that came through. So I think that's kind of the message that wanted to come through for this full moon. Let me see if there's anything else that the dragons want to share. Love yourself above anything that is now going to be coming up, because they're saying clearly there's going to be a whole lot of stuff that's going to come up, especially leading up to Friday and also the week after, the first week of Mercury retrograde. I'm seeing that week is also going to be bringing up a lot of stuff, and you're going to feel like you're being pulled at from all kinds of directions. You're going to feel like you're being pulled in all these different directions by all these different people, because everyone is going through this. Everyone is going to be in this little hurricane of retrograde energy in their relationships. So you're gonna feel like you're being pulled in all these different directions, and the focus to stay rooted, how you're gonna do that is really see how you can nurture yourself, love yourself, so that you can be firmly anchored into the earth. So of course, grounding, I say this in every video, grounding, connecting with your body, with nature, things like that, connecting with your celestial home, with the God frequency. And this is for another video, and I've said this in many videos. It is so important for you to be firmly rooted when you are connecting to source energy, to the God frequency, because otherwise you are not going to be able to discern in your body, which is your barometer, your intuitive barometer, what is right for you, what is wrong for you, what person is good for you, what person is actually not so good for you, what job is good for you, what is nurturing you and what is draining you. You're going to feel those things in your body. So if you have to slow things down, whatever that may look like, certain things that are not a priority, they can wait. Now is not the time for 5 million new projects. And I have to repeat this to myself because I'm constantly starting new projects. Now is not the time. Now is the time to really fine-tune the stuff that is already happening, fine-tune the stuff that's already going on. Okay, so that was the message. They are telling me that was the whole message. So let me know in the comments, what are you recognizing from this message that you are seeing in your life that you can now take with you into next week and prepare for this moon and actually get the most out of it. Get the most out of all of this energy so that you can then tune in to this highest timeline. Speaking of timelines, and if you are interested in like who are these golden dragons that she keeps talking about, all this stuff, I do offer timeline readings that I do for people where I look at what's all available for you. I have sessions also where we can look at some blocks that are going on, either in hypnosis, healing, or just a counseling session. I have Akashic Records readings. I have channeled dragon messages. So if you are curious about these dragons, about any of this, and you want me to look at what's coming up for you, you can find all this information on my website. So let me know in the comments. Also come back to this video after this full moon. Let me know and say, hey, this actually looked like this and this for me, because all of this helps me to create more videos so that I know what it is that you all like to hear. So that was the message. I wish you all a smooth retrograde season and full moon, and I will be back with more videos soon. Bye bye.